My goal for this trip is for the delegation to see the beauty of Kurdistan, to understand the culture, build relationships.
I said yes to this trip because this is an incredible opportunity to strengthen the connection of the Fargo-Moorhead region to Kurdistan. And I'm really drawn in by this. I think that, if you don't travel, you're only reading like one page of history, and I have so much to learn. And I really just wanted the opportunity to be able to explore more, to open my mind, and also open up the connections between our two countries and our two communities. And just that whole concept sounds lovely to me. And so it was an honor to be invited, and I'm so grateful to be able to participate.
I am excited to see what the city is like, what the culture is like, what the food is like, and continue bridging the friendship cities of Zakho and Moorhead. It's a region of Iraq. In my culture in the US, there's negative connotations of Iraq and the Middle East. It's kind of the point of going on our trip is to be able to bridge the gap and learn lots of things about each other's culture. And I'm excited to also ask them what they think of the United States.
A lot of people think Kurdistan is like the rest of the Middle East, and that's why this trip is so important for me, because I want the delegation to see the beauty of Kurdistan and that it is completely different than the rest of the Middle East.
A land of resilience is the first thing that comes to my mind. It's a place with really deep cultural roots and a history of struggle and hope, and it continues to shape Kurdistan today. Personally, I am Kurdish, so I wanted to reconnect with my heritage, but I also wanted to engage in really meaningful conversations about peace and security, and I want to see how that dialogue is and what comes from it and how it can help build a more stable future for that region and that part of the world. The listening and learning and hearing how people envision peace in their own communities and what security means to them, especially on a human level, is extremely important, and that's what I'm looking forward to most.
If it wasn't for our mayors, Shelley Carlson and Dan Molly, and the governor of Zakho, Moorhead-Zahko, agreeing to build bridges and to connect through culture, student exchange programs, having our community members visit Kurdistan, and also for the Kurdistan region members to visit our city.
I would say the first thing that comes to mind is like the word fighters. I just know from what I do know throughout history that they've been passionate about their independence. I love opportunities, I love traveling. I'm all about localization and trying to develop local food system, and so I'm curious on that. I'm looking forward to the food. I packed a few nice dress shirts, and I'm looking forward to buying some traditional clothes while over there. Seeing the sights, eating the food, learning and networking. It's going to be a great 2 weeks with this group.
The one item I had to pack was actually a few of this one item, which is a sweater blazer. I feel like a sweater blazer is really good to both be dressed up enough to be formal, but also comfortable enough to be approachable. And I hope that holds true on this trip. But that is the one thing I could not leave without packing, is at least one, if not a few swazers.
What I'm feeling right now before the trip starts is adrenaline. I feel excited for what's to come and ready for the fatigue of jet lag and all of the travels that it takes to get there, and excited to experience all of the new things.
My experience with the Kurdish community in Moorhead, it's the best. I have mingled with them, I have worked with them, and I ate their food, went to their houses, to their weddings. I appreciate being part of this group who are coming, and this is my video. Here I come.
So we're going to hear things like choni, which means like, how are you? Asboshin, which means I'm doing well. You're going to hear people asking you if you want water or if you want tea. So that ovit then, on that chovit then, on duhashvit gay, do you like it here? And you might have someone translate for you.
Fargo Moorhead is very similar to Zakho and the rest of Kurdistan when it comes to agriculture, farming. North Dakota has a lot of oil. Kurdistan has a lot of oil. There's so much that they can invest in. None of this would have been possible if our leaders in both cities didn't come together and sign this proclamation where we're friends from two sides of the world, but we're just making a beautiful thing happen. And I'm just so excited for the entire group to literally just enter Kurdistan and just feel the love, the peace, the compassion.
During our trip, we visited the Barzani National Memorial, a place of memory, history, and resilience. This museum honors Mustafa Barzani, known as the father of the Kurds, and generations who fought to protect Kurdish identity in the face of erasure. For centuries, the Kurdish people have lived on this land, but after World War I, Kurdistan was divided into 4 parts across Iraq, Turkey, Iran, and Syria, leaving the Kurds without a state and vulnerable to relentless oppression. Under Saddam Hussein, that oppression turned into genocide. During the Anfal campaign in the late 1980s, entire villages were destroyed and tens of thousands of Kurdish men were taken away, never to return. Years later, with the help of U.S. intelligence and the CIA, mass graves were located, including the remains of nearly 700 Barzani men, finally giving families long-awaited answers. In 1991, the U.S. led a no-fly zone that changed everything, offering protection, survival, and a future Kurds still remember with deep gratitude.
Now it's time to take action. So the goal is to create a better partnership, get to know each other better, and see what both of the cities' needs are and how we, citizens of both communities of Fargo Moorhead, Fargo, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota, and the city of Zakho and Kurdistan region of Iraq, how we can build and grow our friendship and partnership.
Jihan, tell me a little bit, how did this delegation get put together and then eventually go on that trip?
I was invited to go to Kurdistan, Zakho, to go to this Middle East Peace Conference. And I thought it would be really cool to take some of our community leaders, members, to go and visit the Kurdistan region, visit Zakho because of the Friendship Proclamation, and just to get to know the culture, the beauty of Kurdistan. And we started connecting with some of the city leaders and people that are very active in the community.
What was it like to go there and be able to see Zakho and Kurdistan in general and meet the people that had come to visit here, but back in their home?
You know, I didn't get the opportunity to meet them when they came to our community, but having the opportunity to go to Kurdistan was transformational. There's maybe 2 quick things to maybe share that I think are important after this trip. And the first is that Kurdistan as a region, you know, after the Ottoman Empire, it was always there. Before we know of Turkey, Syria, Iran, Iraq, there was this Kurdistan region. But after the World War, they kind of just erased the boundaries. And so you've got 45 million people that don't have a recognized country, and they touch all of these different countries. And part of what makes them so unique is, A, knowing that they've had this potential identity that has kind of been erased in terms of a geographical area. I was absolutely marveled at the fact to see Muslims and Christians and Jews and Catholics tell stories about thousands of years of working together and not being in war, which is not something you think of the Middle East. And so learning that, learning about their history, and learning about the oppression that they have faced and how they have handled it so peacefully is one thing I do think is really important for our community to know. And then also how much they love us and are open to us working together back and forth to better both of our communities.
What does that mean to you to see the connection
It means a lot because, like you said, it did take a long time, about a year and a half, where governor of Zakho, Zakho, American University, Dr. Hunar Isa, and then Dan Molly, Shelley Carlson, we were working on this for about a year and a half until we were finally able to bring a delegation from Kurdistan region and to sign this friendship. I didn't think it was going to get so big. There's so many interests from our city here and they want to travel there. We're looking into investors, trainings, sharing ideas, culture. I mean, at first, I thought it was just going to be a friendship where, you know, we would have a little bit of connection here and there, but it has turned into something really big, and I'm very proud that I was part of this. And, you know, I'm looking forward to what's coming up next.